What an intro. What is up, everybody? Thank you very much for joining. My name is Adiki, for those of you who don't know me, and if this is your first time to the channel, welcome aboard. For today's video, I am super excited to be talking about AI, one of the topics that I love talking about on this particular channel. But what is happening in 2025? Oh my gosh, everybody, there is so many things happening. There's all this technology that's getting rolled out, and we're in a space where we're thinking, oh no, there's too much happening. What am I going to do? If technology is moving so fast and you don't know what to do with it, what do we do in a place like this? I want to urge you to think about one particular thing. Would somebody please think about the children? Now, in all cheek, I want to spend a little bit of time now talking about possibly one of the most underrated, underspoken about, underdeveloped topic around AI to do with children. When we're so focused on everything changing, we're pretty much in a space where we want to bury our heads under the sand and just see what happens at the end because it's moving so fast. But the children of today will be the people of the future, and the people of the future will be the ones responsible for everything in this world. So what do we do when things are so difficult? We simply make a video like we've done right now and talk about how we can educate children today about things that are happening tomorrow. That's right. We're thinking and teaching these children topics for jobs that will no longer exist when they hit the workforce. How crazy is that? We're in a space now where things that we learn will no longer even exist because of how fast and how rapid technology is taking over things. Is it good for the good? Is it for the bad? I'm not here to discuss that now, but what I am here to do is talk about how we can look at ways in which we can adopt new technology and be part of the change rather than force yourself against it. So let's get straight into the topic. For those of you who don't know me, again, my name is Adiki, founder of O-Scale, and in a short shell, we help customers get more leads, make more sales, keep more customers, and save a bunch of time. We do this through our AI-powered technology. Now, I'm going to save you all the jargon and all the cool stuff that we can build to help scale your business and just keep it simple. If you want help getting more leads, keeping more customers, making more sales, and saving time, we're the ones to hit up. So like and subscribe, and please tune in if you want future updates on this particular stuff. All right, so just like the internet, and just like electricity, AI is going to be a part of everyday life in the next now to the future. And you wouldn't imagine going to the light switch, turning it on, and just going, well, what's going on here? And not having an understanding generally where you need to go to resolve some of the issues if your power is not connected. Similarly, we just are in a space now where we expect internet to be everywhere. If we are roaming around with our mobile devices and we can't have access to the internet, it's almost like a new low standard of having the internet everywhere has been expected in today's modern day and age. So the internet, electricity, and AI will be a part of everything. We are not teaching our children to be coders. We're not interested in that. We're teaching our children to look for problems and think like machines, and think and understand the way machines work in order to power the future that we are looking towards right now. So some of the important things that we need to focus on and why it's important for children of an early age to understand AI is because their creativity, their ethics, the problem-solving skills that we want to make sure we instill in them, with whether AI is not there or whether AI is there or not, is really crucial for the success of making sure that we develop a citizen who's contributing to society. So let's get into one of the major points, which is why kids need to learn about AI nice and early. You know, those factors that I just spoke about, creativity, ethics, and problem solving, will matter more than some of the things we learn in school from memory. It'll no longer be about memorizing facts. It'll be about critical thinking, where we're supposed to problem solve. And in order to do that, we need to understand foundationally what things need to be looked at when it comes to machines. So this is more so about working alongside machines rather than letting machines take over. Point number 2 is really simple. Ways to start. Now, I'm not thinking about getting our children in school learning to be programmers before their primary age or before the age of 5 years old. I'm thinking about making sure that we're introducing it as part of everyday life. Yes, I know you parents out there, or even you aspiring parents who are still working on it, right? Those aspiring parents out there are thinking, when my kids are young, they're not going near any technology. Well, have you looked around? Technology is everywhere. I'm going to ban them from the screen because, you know what, that's not good for their health. Sure, fantastic in principle, but I guarantee you, any one of those parents listening to this video right now had the exact same thought that you did, and they relentlessly gave in. They gave in because they realized that it's so much harder to operate around it. So rather than fighting against it, creating fiction against the world that we live in today, we learn to work amongst it side by side. So here's my first tip for those parents out there around how you can start implementing some of these things into everyday life. It's about curiosity and stimulating curiosity by asking questions. You know, how do you stimulate curiosity? Well, you create a space where there's so much tools around that people want to learn more. So if I said, "Hey Siri," and something responded, we'd all know what that would mean. I'm worried my phone now is going to respond to me. Anyway, let's continue on. Or, "Hey Google," and we listen to a command. We can create a space where our children are well aware of how to use some of these technologies, these AI developed tools to help simplify our life. And you know what? Here's point number 2. Point number 2 is really simple. We can actually start integrating some of this technology with our children's everyday use. Yes, that's right. Let them use it. Let them have a play. I don't know if you've ever seen a child before, but I'm pretty sure that when kids are the age of 2, they know how to do this motion, that swipe motion, to unlock your phone. They're quite smart. They're quite curious. So what's stopping them from getting into some of these things and learning? The only thing is the ceiling that we create on their own growth and development. So if you can if you could start to implement some of these tools into everyday usage and create a space where they're curious, you would have almost got the perfect formula. The third point on this one that I want to focus on is really around creating play-based learning. Creating a space where you want to tinker around with technology. Maybe your child is now no longer a toddler, because that has been some of the examples I've given. But let's say they're a 7, 9, 12, 10-year-old, something like that. Why don't you start to use AI to help them solve some of the problems? First, model it, then let them use it, create a space where they can now start to build and play and be curious and understand what the true limits are of AI. Now, I'm not talking about creating a space where these kids stay inside and look at their devices all day long, but in a structured way, everything will be okay. That's it for that particular point. Let's go on to point number 3. Referring to my notes here just to make sure that I'm hitting all these particular points. Skills are really important in life, more so than some of the things that we're taught to remember and recite so that we can achieve a particular grade or a particular score in education. So when it comes to skills, these are transferable. For example, the ability to be able to communicate is something that I learned very young. I wasn't effective at doing it. Then I went to school, developed things called grammar, and now I'm able to speak on camera and deliver a message to you without feeling shy or feeling fearful that people are going to judge me. And if you do, awesome. Put it in the comments and let me know. So, skills that actually matter are really crucial and really important. Now, you and I can both agree that a child coming into the world would want to have a particular set of skills and values that govern the way that they are. Otherwise, we'd be left with an unruly nation of people that would just do whatever the hell they want. So, some guiding principles. Treat other people the way that you want to be treated. The skill of chivalry, maybe using manners. These types of things are important to translate through the entire life. What about the skills of fairness? Or the skills of making effective decisions, or maybe even the skills of understanding particular numeric and patterns. These particular skills are important in AI, understanding fundamentals of how AI works, being able to read patterns, being able to make sure that there's particular ways in which AI can affect bias and affect fairness, can lead to people having an emotional connection or an understanding, rather, not necessarily a connection, to how some of the things that are done and implemented will impact people. Remember, this is a human to human interaction. This is not AI. You could squeeze and try and morph my face as much as possible, but you are speaking to a real person. You're hearing a real person. So some of the skills that I've translated and I've had across the era of time that I've been on this earth have translated into some of the things that I'm using now to provide real life solutions to businesses out there and consumers like yourself who might be using some of this be at the user end of this technology. So these are the important skills to make sure that we're taking away and teaching to our kids. All right, let's get to the last point just before we close off for this particular video. The last point is really around advice to those parents out there, those ones that are afraid, those ones that are not even yet parents and don't really know the type of world that they want to bring their children up in. Those parents out there who what we refer to as helicopter parents, who may be the ones that want to see and supervise everybody. Advice piece number one: you don't need to be an expert. You actually just need to be curious. You need to be in a space where you show interest and are working alongside your child, adolescent or teenage. Both the same thing. Child or adolescence, you can still be there amongst your children. Be in a place where you're not scared but curious. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be a subject matter. You don't need to know everything, but you need to be a part of the journey. You create a safe space for that child to learn and grow, for you both to have experiences together so that they know that you're there to support them. Just be curious and work alongside them. When it comes to learning, make sure the experience is like an exploration. It's like a journey. It's like a fun. It's like fun. It's like an adventure. It's not like a school subject. It's not like a rudimentary mathematical equation that needs to be done in a sequential order. It can be fun, and that fun experience is something that you can both experience together, learning about new ways around the world and the way that the future of the world is going to be. And remember, we're not making our children to be AI engineers. We don't want them to be sitting in front of computers. And if you may, that's fine. You can go down that path. I mean, by the time your children are older, I'm sure that those jobs will be done by AI themselves as well. I mean, today we have AI problems. We have AI agents solving AI-related problems, meaning that our capability of being able to further our knowledge is going to exponentially grow. So if you believe that your child needs to be a coder, go for it. I don't think that's what their goal is. The goal is more so about having AI literate citizens that are around. So if you liked what you heard and you think that the future is not necessarily about being against machines, but also working alongside them and understanding how some of these things can contribute to making life much easier, drop a comment below. Let's start a conversation. I'm really interested to hear your feedback, and thank you very much for staying this long in the video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. See ya.